What's up guys, Jake Hutton from Fitness Culture. Today we're gonna talk about how to master the 225 NFL Combine bench press test. The biggest thing that you're gonna need to do to get good at this test is obviously be strong enough to be good at the test. So when you think about what kind of strength do I need to be good at this test, we can kind of start using rep maxes. When you think about a 10 rep max for a guy that benches 300 pounds, 225 would be your 10 rep max there, right? To get over 15 and where we can really start to utilize these other techniques to improve your test, you're probably gonna need your bench press to be closer to 350, 365. And then these tools that we're about to show you are really gonna start helping you increase the reps that you can stroke out during this 225 pound bench press test. After being strong enough, the next technique we're gonna talk about is going to be basically your bar path and the setup for the test. So I'm sure you've seen these guys do these crazy arches and things like that for powerlifting. You don't really need to do that for the test. The biggest thing that they're doing though is really setting up your shoulder blades and squeezing them down and back into a good position. So it's gonna give you a nice high chest. What that's gonna do, obviously, depending on your grip width, it's gonna decrease the range of motion just a little bit. But really what you're doing here is the muscles that retract your shoulder blade, right, are gonna help to stabilize you during the movement. So by squeezing them down and back, you're bringing a ton of stability to your shoulders, and that's gonna set you up for a nice bench, right? You're gonna try to get as wide as you can while still being within the rules to decrease the range of motion for the bar path here. One thing you'll notice too is that the bar path is nice and straight, right? So squeezing your shoulder blades down and back, drive straight through the bar. That way when you start stroking through, you're not losing a lot of motion by pushing it to your face and back down. The next tip that we have to increase your 225 bench press test is gonna be to improve your stroke rep speed. So stroke reps are basically gonna be the amount of reps that you can knock out really fast before you take a breath and stop, catch your breath to go again, right? And one of the best ways to increase your stroke reps, besides muscle endurance, is obviously gonna be the speed that you're moving the bar. I'm gonna show you a couple techniques that we like to use for the 225 test. They're pretty basic, but they're gonna get you a lot better very quickly on working on your bar speed, all right? So the technique that we usually use is just gonna be a 3 rep and 3 second technique. So you're gonna set up with your shoulder blades in good position like we talked about, chest nice and high, and then from there you're gonna get 3 reps in under 3 seconds. So as fast as you possibly can. A technique that we use to allow you to even increase more speed and be able to drive all the way through the rep and get back down faster would be to progress into a banded speed bench. So the banded speed bench, exactly what it sounds like. We're gonna put bands on the bench, and that's basically just gonna increase the velocity of the bar coming back down, and it's gonna make it so you can drive all the way through and get back into that next rep faster. So the way that we set the bands up, we have these tubes for the bands. We just double the bands over like this. You gotta make sure that the band is right down the bar path at your chest. If you don't have the pegs like this, what you're gonna do is just grab the heaviest dumbbells in the room and you're just gonna loop the bands around the dumbbells, and it's gonna give you the same effect. And again, you're gonna be doing 3 reps as fast as you possibly can. Once you're strong enough, you're moving the bar fast, the next thing, and probably the most important thing, is gonna be to improve your muscle endurance so you can really extend your set for as long as possible. So you remember, every second that that bar's in your hands is a second that is taking away from your work capacity. So that's why we need to speed it up. But now we also need to extend those seconds and get you more muscle endurance so you can get more reps. And so we're gonna show you our 3 favorite techniques to improve your muscle endurance for this test. The first endurance building technique that we use is obviously just going more in an endurance rep range when we lift. Pick a weight that you can do from 15 to 20 reps and do 3 sets. The first 2 you're gonna leave 2 in the tank, and the last one you're gonna go all out. The next technique that we like to use, we usually do this after our heavy bench day. So the endurance day would be on its own. The heavy bench day, because you're still gonna be doing those, you still wanna get stronger. At the end of it though, when you're training for this 225 test, you can add a burnout set at the end. So our favorite way to add a burnout set is going to be a board bench progression. It's gonna allow you to completely burn out your lockout and probably get you into a couple more reps at the end of your set. So on the board progression, the first thing we're gonna do is gonna be to burn out to our chest completely. So we're gonna grab the weight, as many as possible. Let's just say I burned out. Rack it, sit up. You're just gonna shake it out for 10 seconds. 9, 10, sit back down. Your buddy's gonna come in with that 2 board on the chest. You're just gonna hit the board and press back. See how burned out? shake it out, burn up to the 3 board, shake it out, and the very last one is gonna be that 4 board burnout. This one's super, super short for me on the range of motion. You're burning out completely to that 4 board. So the last technique that we're gonna use to help increase your muscle endurance, and this one's very specific to the 225 test. Like we were talking about, lockout and triceps are gonna be one of the things that people struggle with the most. So let's say you lay back, you get your weight, you hit your 16 reps, let's say I have 16, I'm 1 away from failure right now. Now I'm just gonna lock it out and hold it. You're gonna basically bring your triceps out all the way during that set just by holding it. So you're isometrically gonna burn out your triceps, you'll rack it, and it's gonna allow you to do that a few times. Probably, we usually program about 3 sets of that on our muscle endurance days. Those were our top tips to increase your 225 NFL Combine test. I hope it helps you out. If you're a college football player like I was at one point, I know that I was trying to look for all the best tips and techniques to help me out to increase mine. If you guys want to check out how we would lay out a full week of this type of combine prep stuff for your bench press, just click the link in the description and we'll give you guys a full free week. If you like this content, please like it, subscribe, and I appreciate you guys tuning in.